Welcome, everybody, live on a Wednesday. It's the Doc checking in with all of you. Hope everybody's enjoying the nice, refreshingly hot weather. My goodness, finally, it's nice to go outside for a walk. It's nice to see people happy, people walking, people outside, the sun. My goodness. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on a Wednesday. Hope all of you are enjoying the week as well, like myself. Look, today was the first day of Lions OTAs, but in a weird twist, we are allowed once a week access to OTAs, and the Lions typically have let us in later. So, in my humble opinion, probably should have been allowed to go today to watch practice because Jack Campbell spoke too. So, the Lions media wants the Lions PR wants the media to come today and Friday. So it's a little challenging. I just think that it maybe would have been a little bit more time consuming to just allow the media today, knock it out of the park. But you know what? That's how the schedule goes. We will be there Friday. Today, Jack Campbell spoke. We'll get your reaction. Obviously, and it produces a topic that may be uncomfortable, but we'll talk about it. If we're now entering the strictly business era and Jack Campbell looks to be the leader of that era, does that mean some of the other more flamboyant Lions have to take a step back? Is there a healthy balance that we can have? Because also it plays into a heated discussion that took place online between a sports radio host and a beat writer. So it ties in perfectly. We'll talk about that today. But we'll talk first and foremost about a surprising topic coming out of ESPN. And look, I get it. This is the slower time where this is what we call speculation season. It's not silly season. It's interesting stuff. It's stuff people talk about. Like, okay, there are some players on certain teams that don't fit. There are players that could potentially be moved, traded. And if Anthony Richardson sees the writing on the wall that his future's not bright with Indianapolis, maybe he'll be on the move. Should your Detroit Lions make a phone call to the Colts to see about Anthony Richardson? And now this topic plays into listener Motor City Mia, who actually brought this subject to me before the ESPN piece. Let me give him the credit. Motor City Mia, or Miami. Let me give him the credit needed. It could be Motor City Miami or MIAA, or actually, sorry, let me see if I give him the right credit here for his name. Motor City, probably it's Motor City Miami. Let me give him the credit. He says, and he writes 2 days ago, Doc, so I just thought about it. Could you see a world where, let's just say, skip drafting a quarterback next year? Could you see a world where they try going after somebody like AR5 from Indy or Michael Penix if he doesn't prevail in Atlanta? If they can go and sit behind Goff and learn. And I said to him, okay. I said, you know what? Let me tackle it in a time when it's right. I said I would do it Monday or Tuesday. It just didn't flow into the nature of the conversation. Today, we see the article drop from ESPN, and it's a topic people discuss. And Benjamin Solak was the one responsible. So let's go over the trade details of what he would think is what the Lions would get and need to give up. Maybe just a little bit too much, but we'll see. The Colts would receive from your Detroit Lions 2027 fourth round pick, while the Lions would receive Richardson and a 2028 seventh round pick. What say you, chat? Yes or no? Let's do an early roll call. Meme Studio, Phil C in the house, Tailor Made Media, Steve Wild's in the house, Meme Studio. You know I don't ever forget the roll call. Anakin in the house. John Dawson. Nice. Steve Wilds, thank you. For those of you who don't know now, the Wednesday segment is no more on Crunch Time in the evenings, but they sure have been good the first 2 weeks at 11:30. Condensed, right to the point. They're real good. My first two appearances, not to toot my own horn, they asked great questions, and we were able to have good sports discussions. Check it out. Woodward Sports, Crunch Time, 11:30 Wednesdays. That's my time, and I'm working hard to keep it because that time slot's not guaranteed. It's coveted, and I want to keep it. So far, I am the first regular guest that they have on that Woodward Sports 2.0. I want to keep it. Phil C 231, always enjoy seeing you. Doughboy Steve, teasing a little bit, going, there's some interesting conversations going on. Share it. I don't care. Even if it's about me, I don't care. Edith Paul says, there was a wild chat going on over there at Woodward. Let us know. I'm always down for some interesting. It was a wild chat. My man, Doughboy Steve. What was it about? Shout out always to Mr. Mahdi. Mr. Hassanin, I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to go out there. We go out there Friday. So maybe tomorrow you give us a little report. I'm sure a little report how things are going. So far, so good. I think Ahmed is going to be great and hopefully get a chance to say what's up. Always enjoy seeing Vincent E313. Meme Studio with the first feedback. Excuse me here. I got a sneeze coming, maybe. Oh, it's like right there. I mean, I like Anthony. I think he could do good after Bridgewater, but that only if Teddy retires. So not this year. You guys say, well, not this year. No to Anthony. The people want to know Ahmed on the left side or the strong side. We'll get a chance to know officially on Friday. But if any people with knowledge of the situation want to share tomorrow, let us know, or today. The Ronin was thinking about him too. Shout out to you. God bless. Good to see you in here again. Hi, Doc. I was thinking about him the other day. The Ronin 9984. As always, hit the likes. Smash the like button for the 22 people in here on YouTube. We got 75 people across two platforms on a Wednesday evening. You guys know the freak comes out at night. An early update, scoreboard update here via Meme Studio. Tigers go up 2-0. Listen, you better win a game in the series against the Los Angeles Angels. The Tigers are in a spot where they're getting booed off the diamond. They better get a win today. I am not familiar. I guess I have to look it up. I have a joke ready for Booner about this. Not this topic, but I can't find a way to pull it off yet. But it's going to be delivered. It's coming. It's going to be a good one. I don't know if I'll get censored off the show. But it's a doozy. I might deliver it next week. I got to remember to write it down. What is your reaction? And here's the thought that I would have. Here's my opinion. My opinion is I like the idea of Anthony Richardson as a reclamation, but if you're asking me between Penix and Richardson, I'm hoping that Penix loses the battle. I would go with Penix a little bit more. Simple fact is, I don't know if you can ever recover from the visual of taking yourself out of a football game. He's 8-7. He's got a 50% completion percentage. You know how really bad that is in football? Jared Goff is well north of 60%. You know how bad that is? I don't see the fit. I don't see the fit. And scouts tell me that, when he was coming out, that he was not going to be successful, he was just too raw. And I don't know if the situation here in Detroit, where another 2 years of sitting, is going to benefit him. So we are QB hunting, as always. And if you want to hear my thoughts on Jared Goff, for the second week in a row, Crunch Time wants to know my thoughts on Jared Goff. They're pretty well stated. I have doubts, but I'm okay with him being on the Lions. I'm okay with him being the starter. It's just the only number that's uncomfortable is that contract. Whew. And again, when people push back on me and say, well, they're saying the chats and the internets are saying Doc's a secret Goff hater. I'm not a Goff hater. There's nothing secret about me. I'm opening my mouth and sharing my opinion. My opinion is this, okay? And it's not something that's out of this world, shockingly insightful. Certain teams that win have inexperienced quarterbacks or younger quarterbacks on their rookie deals and have opportunities to surround them with a lot of talent and go all in for free agents, and they have success. So then people will say, well, who's better than Goff? Stafford, Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. You get my drift? So if you're paying someone $50 million, I want him to be in that tier. Jared Goff is a little bit overcompensated for what he brings, in my opinion, especially on the heels of Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl, making 35. You're talking about value. So for Goff's contract, I'm not moving the goalpost, but when you're making that much money, there could be a reasonable expectation that you get 2 Super Bowls, right? That's a lot of money. Correct. Everybody says, when people say, hey, do you want to move on from Goff? Listen, Dana, and it's very fair. Don't forget, Goff has a no trade. But if the Lions were to tell him, listen, you're sitting down or we don't want you no more, and you give him a fair situation, you don't send him to the Cardinals. You would send him maybe to the Jaguars or a team that's on the cusp and maybe feels like they're a quarterback away. He would waive it. Exactly, Edith. That's why we are simpatico. It's like you're my chat VIP. You're my chat right-hand chat supporter. You're right there. You understand. We see things eye to eye. Exactly. If you tell them, hey, Meme Studio gets in. What about the 49ers backup, Mac Jones? Meme, I don't want to be disrespectful, but Mac Jones reminds me of Jared Goff and not as good. I feel like there are some opportunities to get after him. Cody's in for it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Anthony Richardson. I feel like it would be low risk to give up a 4th rounder, but I want to get him lower. Get him a 6th rounder. Ooh, I'm receiving a voice message right now. Let's see what is being said. A reaction. Feedback. 2 is Anthony Richardson, the guy. Give me 1 second here. Let's listen in. The person's in. Yeah. The person's in. Ooh, a lot of people like it. A lot of people are into it. Why not, Adam? Adam Apollo 1884 says, hell no. Why not? Good questions. One in which we got to check it out. Remember, as always, hit the like button. Anthony Richardson, by reports, has, I think, started to put waves out there that he wants to be dealt. He doesn't want to be there. Very smart, John Dawson. Good to see you in here. Hope to see more of you. Do any of you realistically think Dan Campbell can unsee that tap out? I can't unsee it. The way in which he did it, he tapped out. Shout out to Riley O'Brien. John the Doc Macaroon. This man is damn good at what he does. How's everyone doing? Shout out to you, Riley. Hope all is blessed. Bob Phillips gets in. Look, it was Ben Solak. He got himself from where he was to ESPN. Now, let me give you the reasoning that Mr. Solak gives. And it's also featured on our website, which you can always see every day. Detroit Lions on SI. You can't miss it. It's scrolled on the bottom of every video we ever do. Here's his reasoning. Backup quarterback has been an issue for your Detroit Lions, as Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen have not been enough to stop the team from yanking Teddy Bridgewater from taking Teddy Bridgewater away from high school coaching in Florida. General Manager Brad Holmes and Coach Dan Campbell tend to like quarterbacks with bigger bodies, so Richardson is a good fit. Campbell is an elite motivator who might help light a new fire under Richardson, either as a backup who prepares the right way or as a spot starter in the event of a Jared Goff injury. What do you make of that? Dan is like, I say we try to grab Joe Burrow. You make me choke here. Joe Burrow, right for the top. I've been on the air, so if there's breaking news, Vincent with the amazing profile, with one of the top 2 profile picks in all of the internet. Vincent, what is wrong with the Board of Trustees? My goodness. Board of Trustees just cannot maintain a healthy relationship with the presidents and the athletic directors. Both sides it's just unbelievable to read that a president that was able to raise funds like that is taking less money to leave to go to Clemson. That was shocking to see today from Michigan State. Now, let's look at the question that you guys are asking. Anthony Richardson's cap hit. Listen, guys, you guys know the cap ain't real. You maneuver it and figure it out. The cap ain't real. No, it's reasonable. No, he's on his rookie deal. Signed a 4-year, $33 million contract from 23. And this year, his base salary is $1.145 million. He's got a cap hit of $10.8 million. It's not horrible. I mean, you could figure out a way to restructure it, add 9 void years if you wanted to. But no, it's not. I mean, it's not great and it's not wise, but it's not unreasonable. That is a little on the high side. Especially when you have Luke Altmaier and Teddy Bridgewater. So the question therein lies. You know, it's a good question I haven't asked. First and foremost, yes or no, Richardson, why? Would you do Richardson or would you do Michael Penix if he loses out? Something that just hasn't been talked about too much lately is, are you cool with Teddy Bridgewater? Are you cool with that backup situation? Because look, knock on wood, no bad luck is my fault, but Jared Goff has been remarkably healthy. Remarkably healthy. If something happens, a little ankle situation, little flu, little something, you cool with Teddy Bridgewater? You cool with him? Super chats are open. Go right to the front of the line. All super chats go to help pay my gambling debts. Full disclosure. My bad habits that you can read about and learn about from Crunch Time. Just know all your super chats go for bad reasons. All my super chats go for nefarious reasons. Bad reasons. I mean, let's be honest, okay? No, actually, I want to be honest. You know, I'm a guy that's all about full disclosure. I always want to be honest with my audience. All my super chats and all the money, because you guys know I'm a super successful psychologist. All my money from super chats and YouTube goes to charity. And vanilla and cinnamon and sunshine and all the people. I can't even tell my own jokes. Bada boom. All my monies go to charity. You caught it, didn't you, Steve? And cinnamon and Cheryl, Monique and Sparkles. I can't believe I told that over there. Luckily, my daughter's not listening because I know she's driving home. You know I would tell that joke. $4.99, Michinuga. Put it all on black, Doc. You got it. What are you talking about? I don't make no 50-50 bets. All that $4.99 on 11, baby. The best bets. Put the roulette bets on the numbers. I'm kidding. Do not. All information gathered here from this fine podcast is for informational purposes only. If you tend to lose money, do not blame the doc. Oh, come on. That one, the charity joke, it's not original. I've told it 15 years or more on the Detroit Sports Podcast. Oh, Steve Wilds paid attention to earlier. Hey-oh, I'm getting myself a massage chair, which I did. Actually, I tried to save it, but I totally whiffed on the intro joke. I thought what they were talking about was a massage place. I'm like, I need a massage. I mean, come on. I mean, first of all, anytime the word massage is going to be introed in any conversation, Doc is going to go there. So check it out. But I saved myself. I redeemed myself. They're like, Doc, what are you talking about? They're like, this is a massage chair. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Steve Wiles, $9.99 super chat. This is your contribution for the massage parlor for Doc. Because you know I need massage relaxation. Oh, my goodness. Super chats flying in early. Meme Studio, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Nuga, kindly. Thank you, Meme Studio. 3 super chats early means a lot to me. Doc, when can we get a preseason starters predictions article or stream talking about it? Also, Teddy's the GOAT. Soon as tomorrow. You want it? Tomorrow. Done deal. Tune in to your favorite Detroit Lions podcast tomorrow. Preseason starters prediction. Okay, here's what we'll do. The article, let me see the team on Friday. Let me just lay my eyes on the football team. And then I will work with Christian and we'll put it together for maybe Monday, kick off the week. And we'll talk about who I think will be starters tomorrow. Sounds good? Sounds good. You want it? You put it in super chat. I will deliver. Who will you're asking which players will play in the preseason or before the season, who I think will end up winning starting jobs. We've already put up who will be on the roster. But yeah, if you want to know who I think is going to end up being the starting 11, I will do that. No problem. No problem. Are you cool with Teddy Bridgewater? If something happens for 1 or 2 games, of course, long-term, everyone knows the season will be in peril. Are you cool? Got it. You want to know who's going to be heavily involved in the preseason. Got it. Got it. I'll give you my thoughts on that tomorrow for sure. And then we'll do a formal article probably next week. Let me see. At least some of the players move around. Michinuga gets in. Say hi to Mr. Kraft Doc. I am not familiar with this reference. There is no rubbing. Up and up. I am up and up. Listen, just because Doc. So let me tell you a story. Doc, Robert Kraft, and Mike Vrabel hang out in a bar. Diana Rossini walks in. Doc is forced to leave. They're like, what they have told me was off the record. Leave. I'm like, what's going to happen? They're like, off the record. Leave. Leave right now. Like, no, we're not going to come on your podcast and talk about it. Meme, Doc going to get enough super chats to buy a beer tonight. Thank you guys. You guys are supportive and kind. And I think the community we're building is fun and we get it. We're not doing hardcore science here. We're just talking, telling jokes, and having a good time with it. Appreciate you, Mishanuga. 2 super chats early. Steve Wilds, Meme Studio. Appreciate all of you. Roll call. Where's everybody listening in from on this fine Wednesday? You know, the freak came out at night. Doc in the PM. Doc in the AM. Are you cool with Teddy Bridgewater? Should the Lions consider Michael Penix or Anthony Richardson? I just feel like, you know, there is always that trepidation if something happens to Goff. I mean, Bridgewater's cool, but he hasn't really had all that much action. I think he's great to have as on the roster to teach Altmaier to kind of keep things stable, to be a comfort for Jared Goff, a sounding board, no real threat. But to me, I'm always of the opinion, if you want real competition, Teddy Bridgewater's not competing with Goff. Luke Altmaier, realistically, is not competing with Goff. I do think that, just in my thought process, spitballing it right here, right now with you fine folks, I think Jared Goff should have a quarterback that, like Aaron Rodgers had, where Brett Favre is sitting there feeling all comfy, and all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers comes aboard. Aaron Rodgers gets, nice and comfy in Green Bay. They draft Jordan Love. I think it's time in 2027 to make Jared Goff a little uncomfortable. Maybe someone really good enough where maybe a guy like myself says, hey, play him. If Goff has 3-4 bad games, nice little, if the Lions have a good record this year, next year's schedule is going to be brutal. A little uncomfortableness doesn't hurt. Competition at all positions doesn't hurt. Jared Goff ain't feeling no competition. It's his job. That's just my opinion on it. I'm comfortable with Teddy Bridgewater for a game. That's about it. Let's get some feedback. Vincent E313, I think Altmaier has a high ceiling. I do too. I think he's a good player. He might be one, but unfortunately, the Lions' developmental quarterbacks, they just keep going through them. They don't last. Last year's developmental quarterbacks not on the roster. Jomo Lion King, Teddy can run an offense and change plays if necessary. Penix and Richardson can't. Very fair. K Will M5J. I agree wholeheartedly, Doc. Same as you said about bringing in another kicker for competition. Yeah, that's right. Like I said, nothing I say really, and the most funny comment I get online is, especially it tells me that you don't listen or ever watch me, is you just do rage bait. How does someone do rage bait with a huge smile on their face, laughing all the time, telling jokes? I just want to win. I just want the teams that I support and follow and now cover and write about to have some level of success for you guys. And I believe kind of now in the similar fashion like Jack Campbell. I'm kind of in that mold. But part of me likes to dance in the end zone a little bit too. But I kind of like to dance in the end zone when I'm up 21. I get it. I like the flamboyant side of sports. It's fun. But there was a great debate today, and I'm going to share it in the second half of the podcast. Jim Costa, 97.1, talking about the Tigers, and it really relates to Jack Campbell. And Evan Woodbury, the great beat writer. If you don't follow MLive's beat writer for the Tigers, you got to follow him. True pro. But two very different ideas about how athletes should handle social media. And it ties into Jack Campbell. So I'll share that here in a minute. Let me get some feedback, and then I shall take 3 minutes to drink iced tea. Vincent 313 says Manu and Sorsdal got the hill to climb. They get the boot. Doc, if Manu can't play, who in the world is our preseason offensive line that I don't know about? You might play Blake Miller. Play some starters. You might play Larry Borum. Miles Frazier. Colby Sorsdal. Mason Miller. Yeah, Dana O'Shana from the fine city of Southfield, if I remember. Isn't that the case with most backup quarterbacks? Yeah, I know, right? But we all know that the position that's most popular is the backup quarterback and the backup goalie in town. We worry about just making sure that the train can stay on the tracks if something happens to our Jared Goff. Make sure we've been very close. I want to be around 50 likes every video. So make sure you smash the like button. Yes, you will win a preseason game against the Colts. Maybe against the Commanders if you want to bring some motivation into it. No doubt. Deal. The big thing that Meme Studio wants to know, who in the world is going to be the offensive line in the preseason? Of course, that's why I'm here. I low-key forgot about Larry and Colby and Devin Cochran. Well, here, Meme, like I said, I'll give you the officials who I think would start, who I think will be the second team tomorrow. But let me give you the names that are on the roster so you know. That way you don't walk away from this fine program going, who the heck is on the roster? Here is your lineup and names to know on the offensive line. We have 9 linemen making the team. Panay Sewell, Mahogany, Cade Mays, Tate Ratledge, Larry Borum, Blake Miller, Miles Frazier, Juice Scruggs, Ben Barch. But those battling that could see preseason action, I'm sure that you're now going to look up Melvin Priestley's info. Meme. Seth McLaughlin, Mason Miller. Don't sleep on Mason Miller. He developed all last year. He's somebody that Hank Fraley, from what I'm hearing, really has a lot of respect for. And really, you got to remember, when someone battles all year on a practice squad and then gets invited back with another contract, the team like you. So pay attention to Mason Miller. Devin Cochran, Michael Neese, Colby Sorsdal, Gio Manu. So let's put together a line. You got Gio Manu at right guard, at right tackle. Put right next to him Colby Sorsdal. Neese to center. Left guard we'll put as let's see. Left guard we'll put as Miles Frazier. Left tackle Mason Miller. Give it a go. That's my early, right off the cuff, no thought insight into the offensive line. Yep. Don't sleep on Miles Frazier. He's got a role, but he's got a battle. I don't know. You guys tell me. A lot of you are liking this Manu to guard situation. He's a big man. That's a big guard, dude. You want a big guard at that position? I feel like he's a tackle. Steve Wilds, what do you guys think? Ponder. Why not move Manu to guard and give him a shot there? I think he'd be better since his lateral quickness is too bad for tackle. Do you think Manu's skill set would translate to guard? He should be. Pay attention Friday. We'll give you the attendance report at Lions on SI. Pay attention Friday. We'll give you the attendance report. No doubt about it. All right. Good start. 45 minutes in. Very good. Let's take a pause, and then we'll react to Jack Campbell and then talk about it. Strictly business or a little pizzazz? What do you guys think? If we're in the strictly business era, that J-Mo Gibbs dance combo might be retired. Food for thought. I'm looking forward to your feedback next. Just a break. Give a chance to Doc to stand up a little bit, stretch, get some more vitamin D in the system. I shall return. I promise. Back after this. Let's see. Boom, here it is. All right. Beautiful 3 minutes. Does the job. Oh, my goodness. Thanks, everybody. Checking in on a Wednesday, hump day. Hope everybody's day is good. What's going on with everybody? We're checking in with the Tigers score real fast here. Uh, Hopefully, the lead is still strong 2-0, bottom of the fourth inning. Hope everybody's enjoying the nice weather. Now, it looks like it's getting a little bit chilly now, around 7:45. 7:45 in your city. Bill C says this is the most interesting part of the show. I think you're getting excited to talk about Jack Campbell, the leader. Look, man, it was cool. And look, it's pretty straightforward. Um, I do kind of plan my schedule like a week or two in advance. And so when the Lions and look, you hate to say it, but it's just the reality of the situation. The Lions in Allen Park are 40 minutes, 45 minutes from my home here in Macomb. From Sterling Heights, it's about 30, 35 minutes. So I have a schedule set, and a lot of times, straightforward, straight transparency. When the Lions broadcast it on YouTube, I can just pinch it off of YouTube and stay in the office. And I cannot justify an hour driving for 20 minutes of media sessions. So a lot of times I pick and choose. I will be there all day Friday, but I mean, the questions were good. They talked about, when you hear about Jack Campbell's story, the appreciation, proving people wrong, all that good stuff. So I'm like, you know what? There's only going to be one question. And I feel like they didn't ask it, but I do realize I am different in my question. I would have had the simplest question, but the most question that you guys would want. The question I would have asked was, how does it feel when a lot of people, when they talk about the team's weakness, say it's the defense? How does that sit with you? That's what I would have asked. Or I would have said, how do you feel now that Alex is gone? Someone did ask it in some form of like, you're now taking over. What does a Jack Campbell defense look like with you at the head? Something like that. But I really would have wanted to know, like, hey, man, a lot of people say the team's weakness is the defense. How does that sit with you over the last couple years? But I'm saying, man, I can't that's the one disadvantage of living that far away is I got to really pick and choose. I got to pick and choose when I go. Yeah, it was outstanding today, right? And that's how I feel. I'm like, you know what? Nobody needs that kind of vibe from the doc. You know what I mean? Because that's how my brain thinks. Is like, hey, everyone thinks your defense isn't that good. And Jack Campbell would have answered honestly. I've been cool with him. But from Dana O'Shea, Jack Campbell's presser was outstanding today. I think he may have misspoke. But now, sleuths from the internet. I've put out a request for the sleuths. I have not found, and the media has not found this CBS trash draft grade where it says he's the worst. I'm sure it was out there. He did get a lot of Fs, but it wasn't from CBS Sports. It might have been maybe the next day's analysis, but CBS Sports, their main guy. Now, look, every site has multiple guys. Like me, we graded Vito, full transparency. Vito was humble, and he had to own it because I shared it. Vito, you know what Vito said? Vito said, I really wish they wouldn't have drafted Jack Campbell. He goes, I wish they would have drafted Brian Branch. So he saved a little bit of redeeming grace. But Lions NSI was critical. But he called it out. He's like, somebody from his town sent him. And that's good. That's what you should do. He keeps it. He has a book with a letter in it that says, here are the draft. And he keeps it in stride. This is what people thought of his draft pick. And and it wasn't favorable. But in the end, sometimes you need to hear some of that to get you to where you want to grind and be a good player. But look, that guy had the making of a good player. But guys, and this is what I said on Crunch Time. And again, don't get mad. Don't throw flames at me. The positional value debate is still open. Okay, guys? Yes, Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs are great players, but you're now paying them. Linebacker at 18, you might pay a running back. You might pay two players $40 million. The positional value debate is still open. Those guys that put that really didn't say, a lot of them didn't say that he sucked as a player. A lot of the debate more. Now, of course, some people are going to say we don't like the player. A lot of people say we don't like the positional value of taking a linebacker that high off the ball. But again, I'm not being negative, but have the Lions won a Super Bowl? Have the Lions been in this Super Bowl? Now, you can't say had they drafted two different players that they would be, but that debate is not closed. It's not determined yet. It is not signed, sealed, delivered because you paid Jack Campbell that you're going to win a Super Bowl. But he's a darn good piece. He's a darn good piece, and I'm glad he's on the team. But we'll see if they pay Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, K-Will, you caught that, right? You caught that, didn't you? I did, right at the end. Yes. He said, and I just played it before I came on here, and I'm glad you brought it up. He said, it was nice to see the guys hustling out there. Right? Jack was careful with his words, but kind of alluded to some players not playing hard last year. Dana's like, oh yeah, that CBS thing, delete it. I can't find it. So sleuths, find it. If you find it, tag me at Detroit Podcast. I want to read who wrote if it's from CBS Sports, who wrote that Jack Campbell was the worst football player, worst draft pick at the time. Okay, so um, now Jack Campbell. I mean, every reporter basically caught on to the same words. He didn't want to reset the market. He said, and look, that's all you can ask for from a player. But listen, he's not getting paid piddly money. He's getting paid $20 million. He's the second highest paid. But I mean, you know, so it's a great headline, but in the end, he ain't making light money either. He's making 20 million. So it's a win-win for Jack. He can sit there and go, "Oh, I'm not the highest paid." Yeah, but you're not the fifth highest paid either. Pretty soon he might be, though. That contract probably is slated, just like Amon-Ra's, to be fifth or sixth in a couple years. So it's fair. It's very fair what he did. And look, he spoke the way you want to hear your linebacker speak. All you can see is Chris Spielman and leadership and guy that's okay. Let's put the hands. I'm ready to pass the torch from Optimus Prime to Rodimus. Optimus Prime was the grizzly old vet from the Transformers, and he dies in the movie, and they give it to the young guy. Rodimus Prime. Let's go. Now he's not the kid anymore. Now it's time to become a man and grow up and be the linebacker that people want. Now, I view things this way. Jack Campbell, clearly the leader of the defense. No nonsense, all business, all gas. Let's go handle business. I feel like the Lions like that for the most part more than the JMOs and the Gibbs of the world, and the Amon-Ra. Now, Amon-Ra's talented, so he can do it, but I'm not really certain that Dan Campbell was envisioning his football team flicking boogers to celebrate first downs. Now, wide receivers, they're a different bunch. They want to celebrate. I get it. They're the skill guys. But do you want your team to kind of, if you're talking strictly business, that means kind of a shift more toward Jack Campbell. Hit people, get up, hit them again. Hit people, force a turnover, win the battles. Sack, I feel like Aiden's going to do some sack dances, but there's a nice little dichotomy there of Jack Campbell is, to me, strictly business. I could see, a little sack celebration here and there, if the Lions are off to a good start, have a little bit of fun. But I think that for a football team, what Dan Campbell likes, what a defensive leader would like, what Calvin Shepard would like, because remember, what did Calvin Shepard say to Terry and Arnold when I asked Calvin Shepard? I said to Calvin Shepard, what do you need from Terry on this year? He said, I need him to be quiet and make plays and go out there and play football. He said, I need him to be quiet. And of course, he had said that to him prior, for sure. Now, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different than JMO and the humping on the end zone. I don't know if you see that this year. I don't know. I feel like there's if that's the culture, strictly business. If they set the tone like, hey, we've already done our dancing, we've already done our stuff, let's go handle it. I feel like Jack Campbell should set the tone and get these guys in line. Is that what you want? Nope. I actually shared it, Steve Wilds. Pete Prisco gave a glowing A+ grade. He said it's his favorite player in the draft. I shared it. You got to stay up to date, and not only on the videos, but on the X too. I looked it up. It wasn't Pete Prisco. Pete was positive. A+ he gave it. Dana O'Shana, I love that he mentioned him and his wife love it here. What's not to love? You're treated great. For the most part, the athletes in town are treated very well. Yep, Steve Wild, check it out at Detroit Podcast. Because the first thing I did was I was sitting there listening at my computer at work in my office, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, let me look up let me see who found it." Couldn't find it. I'm like, CBS didn't write nothing nasty, at least the day of, and of course Google doesn't index it, so I couldn't find it. So sleuths out there, one of you, if you find it, or if you find the direct quote where someone says Jack Campbell is among the worst selections at this spot, share it. So Jack might have called out the wrong. Look, wouldn't that have been? I just would have laughed when he started doing that. I would have laughed if he was like, "Man, I got this Sports Illustrated article and it was terrible." Oh, and of course because we have a different division, it wouldn't have been us. But that would have been funny if he would have called out Vito. but we are accountable. We shared Vito's review. Okay, so now let me tie this in with the story from today, from yesterday. So, Jim Costa, fine radio host, morning 97.1. He went off. My God. I'll put that on there. I'm going to send it to Vito. So does half the world. That's why he's good. Vito is our columnist. He's our opinion guy. I tell him the topics. He writes it great. I love Vito. He's been with us from day one. Jim Costa went off. He was not happy. And it was very interesting because I think a lot of you sided with Jim Costa over the beat writer. A lot of you were calling Evan a shill, to grow a pair. I was like, oosh, you guys were. It was interesting because a lot of times you guys are like, be nicer, don't be so harsh and critical. Yet you hammered Evan Woodbury today. You guys hammered him. I was like, damn. But here was the post. And so I asked, are you team Jim Costa or are you team Evan Woodbury? Looks like one of the pitchers left with an apparent injury. Who left the game? The alert came from an apparent injury. Okay, so Wencel Perez yesterday from the Tigers, obviously after a loss, he was sharing the clips of positive plays he made and stuff he was doing well on his Instagram. So Jim Costa's like, your team has lost 17 of 20. You misplayed a ball in right field in the 8th inning to swing the game. You're the worst player in baseball. -1 WAR. Let's share the home run we hit 5 different times on Instagram. Read the room. Damn, Jim. Seen 630,000 times on X. Jim's like, read the room, bro. Not the time to post on social media. Damn, which I kind of am like, yeah. There is a famous, I'm trying to think now, top of my head. I think it's Dan Dickerson, where he got into the habit of speaking on X when the Tigers won, and he'd be like, "Ooh, the Tigers went 5 innings strong, Casey Mize," and he was able to do this. And then when the Tigers would lose, he'd go radio silent on X. If I'm right, Dan Dickerson had the habit, I think, of being nice and positive on X when they won and nothing when they lost, which I get. But Evan Woodbury, look, I read his work every single day. We only have a head nod relationship. I see him when I'm in the press box at Comerica. I just nod my head. He nods his head, and that's about the extent of it. But I got a lot of respect for him. He said, I have a lot of problems with this post, Jim. You may be frustrated, but why target the longest tenured player in the Tigers organization who has always played hard and with a positive attitude, who made meaningful contributions to 2 playoff seasons and has already overachieved and exceeded expectations for his career? 1. 2, demanding that players be performatively sad 24/7 after a loss when they are humans with wives, young kids, normal lives, who have played hundreds of thousands of games in their careers and thus have dealt with failure many times and will do so again, is absurd, Jim. MLB players' Instagram is relatively unpolluted by the nonsense of social media, particularly for regular non-star players. Sharing positive photos and videos with friends and family back home and current and former teammates around the game is totally normal. That's why a ton of players are on the gram and virtually zero are on X. And really, that interaction is a beautiful microcosm of the mini civil war that goes on between professional journalist beat writers and opinionists like Jim Costa. It's so beautiful. It encapsulates sports beautifully, and it speaks to our topic right now. Jim's like, bro, read the room. I'm not interested in seeing your home run highlights after the Tigers have lost 17 to 20, bro. I'm kind of in that boat too. Share it, of course. Wait till the next victory. Okay. I'm not offended by it. I wasn't going to make a comment on it, but I'm of the opinion that you are also, when you're on social media, speaking to an audience of paying customers. And I like the idea of if your team is in a losing streak like that after a shitty loss to the Angels, I'm not about seeing you in your home runs. Now, the reactions you guys gave to Evan, were strong. Some of you supported it, some of you didn't. Some of you were like, "You're a shill, you suck." And he was like, "Wow, man, that's a little harsh." And that's far from the truth. I respect guys with that opinion. It's an interesting opinion. What do you guys think? Strictly business, Jack Campbell? Or dance a little bit, share on Instagram your plays, even if you lose. Remember, JMO got kind of that way too, where JMO's out socializing out at 3 a.m. at Coney Islands after some losses. People were like, well, does JMO really feel the losses? He's out there living his life. A lot of you support the Lions a little bit more, but my goodness, here was your guys' comments to Evan. Nick Haddad says, Evan, come on, man. You're saying we should give Perez a pass because he's our longest tenured player. His effort has been less than my 4-year-old T-ball team, and he's making mistakes they don't even make, on top of not hitting. The entire organization is a major failure. And here's Evan's response. If you're going to look up a player's social media to catch them and publicly denounce them for the crime of reposting something positive, thus suggesting that they are indifferent to the success of the team, it's relevant that the player is in fact someone who has been in the organization longer than anyone and not a guy they picked up on waivers last week. So it's a beautiful discussion. Where do you guys lie? Jack Campbell, serious, strictly business? Or, hey, wait a minute. Let's have some fun with this. Let's be good and let's enjoy sports. Yeah, you guys like me reposting the Dan Dickerson audio. What's some feedback? Steve is more like Team Evan Woodbury. Guess he has to be depressed because his team is terrible. I am too. That Dan Dickerson hot mic will forever be legendary. F that recap. Do I really got to do it? Quick side note here. Your starting pitcher looks like Casey Mize has left the game with an apparent injury. Got the notification. Steve Wild's bad take by Costa. So you guys tell me, okay? You guys tell me, because it really is interesting. Jack Campbell, are you down? Because to me, and I looked at it from this perspective in regards to the video release. On the football field, I'm okay with strictly business. I'm okay with destroy the opponent, be cool, come back the next week, do it again. Now I get the entertainment side. I'm more like, okay, on the field, strictly business. When you get to the locker room, start talking your ish a little bit so that we have something to write about, something to podcast about, some quotable, notable stuff. So locker room for our videos, cool. On the field, handle your business, act like you've been there before. Those are the parameters in my world. And social media, we don't need to be doing anything on social media because that can only be used for negativity, wrong interpretations, clipped out of context. I think I don't even know the context. I saw TA on a private jet and people were all up in arms. And he's like, I don't even think I spent the money you guys said I spent. And I think I saw he posted something on X about a reply when he saw the post. He's like, you guys know that I played in NIL. I got some money. AG's burner. Week 3 contest, I believe. I think Jack's deal was solid. Very solid. It's a deal you have to like. Steve Wild says, lighten up Costa. Okay. We got 175 people. A lot of people on X tuning in. Smash the like button on X. Retweet it. 26 on YouTube. Hit the like button. I just don't see any spike plays from Jack Campbell. Yeah, come on, group. There should be at least 10 more. Jack is very consistent. Pretty sure he won back-to-back NCAA linebacker of the year. Look, this is a guy that you want leading your defense. Steve Wild, if Costa doesn't like it, I got 2 words for him. Suck it. Yeah, that Campbell deal was very team friendly. You mentioned it, so I gotta say it. He was with Yahoo. So, unfortunately, in a weird twist of fate, I don't know what you make of this, K. Will, and I gotta say it because it's all over the internet. NFL analyst Charles Robinson, who graded their draft on F, taking Gibbs in a year that they signed David Montgomery, felt extremely rich. Gibbs and Campbell made up the most shocking first round picks. That's not what Jack Campbell said. He said that the analyst said he was the worst draft pick in the draft. But Charles Robinson today was let go by his employer today. And so that's the first thing I saw was, ooh, he had a bad take. He had a bad take on Jack Campbell. It's tough. Tough takes. But unfortunately, he got let go of his position. But he represents the D. He wears old English D hats and all that stuff. So you hope he bounces back quickly. But with his talent and in reporting chops, I think he will. He'll bounce back quickly. Steve. Booner is falling in love with Jared Goff. And here's the thing. And I get it. For young Lions fans, I get it. For the influencers, for hosts, I get it. He's the best you've seen in your regions. But Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, greats of the greats that play the position. Steve Young. I get it. I get it. Goff brought us, Stafford didn't bring us any playoff wins. Goff got us some playoff wins. Real fast. Maybe this week. A lot of people, when I was, just a quick sidebar, a lot of people are saying the Michael Jackson movie is off the chains. I'm a Michael Jackson guy. So have any of you seen it? Should I go? Take the missus and go see it? Guys, Michael Jackson's back. Is it crazy, right? I'm like, wait a minute. I'm young. I'm middle-aged, but I'm starting to feel old. Like, Michael Jackson's making a comeback? Like, he just died a couple years ago. Michael Jackson's making a comeback? And to see that his nephew is playing him, I said to the crew watching, they said, "Oh, the Michael Jackson movie is amazing. You got to see it." I said, "Who played Michael Jackson?" Because I'm not into the movie scene too much. I've been watching a little bit more movies lately on Netflix with the missus. Tuesday night now on Wednesday nights. Now that I'm free from 8:45 to 10, you'll see I'm more happier. Oh, let me give you just a quick sample of Doc on Thursday mornings. Yes. Hanging out with the missus a little bit more. Man, Booner, Hefe, you cost me, and you know it. I dedicated 8:45 to 10 every Wednesday night for 2 years. Now I'm hanging out with the missus. She's very appreciative. So, if you've seen the Michael Jackson movie, let me know. Is it good? The Crash is amazing on Netflix. I love that. I love those kind of movies. Nah, AG's Burner. It's 2.0. Give it a shot. Trust me, the fellas are working hard. They're trying to bring the best. Everyone there, I have a good relationship with for the most part. The crash is a story of a lady, young girl, 17 at the time, driving 100 miles an hour and took out two people, unfortunately, in a crash, and people think it's intentional. And in essence, she got found guilty, and people are, it's one of those conspiracies like, hey, was it true, was it not true, and it's really Netflix, amazing. So it's mind blowing. So all right, let me get some feedback here. Jack Campbell, you guys all about the serious business? Serious business. Oh, too hot for the internet. Kindergarten Cat. For sure, right? No. One and only Commando. You could watch that night and day. Commando all day long. Kindergarten Cop. Spaceballs. Yeah, I checked it out. You guys liked it, huh? The spoof on Star Wars, huh? I did. It was good. I can see why it's a cult classic. Dana O'Shana, I missed this crew in the chat. Oh, that's cool. Wait, so you're saying that so far the crew that you're seeing here on Lions on SI that also was on Crunch Time, not there a little bit? What do you like about this? What do you like? What do you like, Dana? It's always gives us a little insight. What do you like about this chat? Good. Little quick sidebar. Okay, we'll get back to it. I like it. You guys want to play around? We can always do that. Anytime. Anytime of a round of Ask Doc anything. Anything you want. Movies, anything, life advice. Real fast, we'll get to it. Your question. It's not a tumor. Arnold movies are great, but Commando's my favorite. A weird one, Total Recall. Cohagen. If you know, you know. Another reason why I would like that movie. There you go. I just older. Honesty. Yeah, of course. Thank you. All right. In the chat, those watching, your Mount Rushmore of music bands or artists. All right. Mount Rushmore. That's four people. Four. Michael Jackson, one. The Beatles. Big fan. You got to have them on the Mount Rushmore. Metallica, three. And I'm sorry, I'm a lighthearted guy. I grew up with Genesis and Phil Collins. So I'm a softie. Light rock. Light rock favorites of yesterday and today. If you're a local guy in Michigan, 96.3, 100.3, light rock. That's what I'm a light rock guy. But when I want to go into that mode, like Dan Campbell, Metallica. Absolutely. You only needed Metallica. So Metallica, Michael Jackson, the Beatles, and how is that? Is that too corny? I'm a simple guy. Yeah. Total Recall was crazy. Yeah. Who's your guys' Mount Rushmore of musicians? Put them in the chat. I want to see your feedback. Vincent, see? That's it. How do you not like Genesis? If you play it, you just gotta love Phil Collins. The Beatles and are we gonna do? I'm not gonna lie. When I think Harrison broke out, he got a single. I like his single, but I'm John Lennon, clearly. But when George Harrison had a single that I know is world class. I don't want to say one hit wonder, but he had a crazy good single. Let me pull it up here. You guys will know. Right? Hey, Motor City, I read your comment. Look, right? I look at that timing. Motor City, and of course, I'm an idiot. I apologize. It's not Motor City Mia, is it? It's Motor City Miami, isn't it? But you tell me. But I read your comment early in the show, so I gave you the shout out for the topic earlier, right? Doc, right after I just asked you about it, look what happens. A story, right? I talked about it. I gave you my answer. Not really. Some of the chat is not really down for Richardson. I would rather prefer Penix in that story. But I did get to your question today. Just rewind. You can rewind live and get your answer, brother. Thank you again. I read it live about an hour ago. That's really cool when people that contribute to the show hop into the show to see. I know you probably had an inclination like, wait a minute, Doc wrote about Anthony Richardson. This is crazy. And now people are just talking about a little bit of music, little sidebar to sports. And we're playing a round of Ask Doc Anything. I'll get to some of your football questions too. Playing a round of Ask Doc Anything. Anything in your mind, your soul, media, whatever you want to know about. Life advice. Tap into my knowledge. What was George Harrison? Oh, done deal. When I was a kid, I got my mind set on you. Ba-bum, ba-bum. It's reading from Wikipedia. From 1983 until 86, Harrison released only one film soundtrack singles, reflecting on his involvement in movie production Cloud9 and its lead single, Got My Mind Set on You. Put him back in the mix. I got my mind. That was right there. I was in my youth. I was like 5 to 8. That song was everywhere in my youth. I got my mind set on you. Ba-dum. So George Harrison that was right about the time when I started learning about, okay, he was there and he broke up and he did his own thing. So George Harrison, that's good. Thank you for the musical question. Very good stuff. Yeah, drop your oh my goodness, look at this question. Doc, how do you stay involved pleasing your woman but work a lot at the same time? What is the key? The key is dedicated time. Quality, not quantity. Yes, I'm a busy guy. You guys know I write, but it's a lot of communication. And in the end, we have that kind of relationship where, we have nice distance at times. And then when we hang out, it's just great. I'm fun. Like how I am now with you guys is how I am in life. I'm funny. I'm easy going. Like I think the most I get riled up is when the sports team in Detroit lose. The rest of the time, if you see me walking around, you might see me walking down Sterling Heights. I take 3 mile walks down Sterling Heights all the time. But a lot of it is the key is committed time, common interest, laughing, and doing the things that she likes to do. Taking walks, watching movies, eating out, all that good stuff. You just got to be with somebody that you want to hang out with all the time. Now, the other aspect too is we have clear boundaries. Like I know what I'm not good at. She knows what I'm not good at, and we don't typically cross them. Like she's not going to ask me to put a hammer or a picture up because she knows it's just going to be broken. And the other aspect too is, I'll put it in a way that's respectful if she listens. I have healthy testosterone. I'm a 47-year-old guy. It has not slowed down in any capacity at all. I'm kind of going to the doctor be like, can you drain some of this testosterone from my body? I'm working 50, 60 hours a week and I'm pretty much full energy all the go all the time. All day, every day. I can work, type, do things, do 2, 3 different jobs, hang out with the family. I'm super dad. But I'm kind of like, okay, can I kind of tone this down? Can you take some of the tea, like my tea? They're like, yeah, Mr. Macaron, your tea levels are like supposed to be at 40. They're like at 400. Yeah, take some of it out. Like, bring me down. I want to get into but I do also balance it out. I watch a lot of golf on Sunday mornings. Right. I watch a lot of golf, to tone it down. Who are some fantasy football sleepers you have? Ooh, let's take a look here. I hate fantasy football, but you look at it and you say, I finished second place so many times, it bugs me. Isaac Tesla might get some of those point in PPR leagues. He might be up there. Obviously, the Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Tesla might be getting up there this year. Let me go to our SI fantasy site. Let's see what they say. SI does with Michael Fabiano does a great job with fantasy football. I mean, I'm talking about you follow him, you'll be in a lot of good spots. So obviously B John's probably going to go 1. Let me give you my top 5. And especially here on you got B John Robinson, Gibbs, McCaffrey, Achane, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Those are the top. Let's get down into the nitty-gritty. Maybe Cam Little. The Chargers defense. Isaiah Pacheco, maybe down there, might be a sleeper. Justice Hill from Baltimore, Tank Dell. Listen, don't call me a homer. Jaden Reed from Green Bay. Isaiah Likely, the tight end. Zach Charbonnet, Seattle running back, might get more of the load. Early names. Chat came strong today with the music. I like it. Yeah, and anybody in the chat, like I said, topics can go away from sports just a little bit too. Anytime they do TRT therapy, they call me in, right? They're like, Doc, a lot of these low energy males are coming in here. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? They're like, I don't know. They're 20 years old. And all they want to do is play video games. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of low energy people walking around these parts. I'm like, yeah, well, I watch wrestling and, and I get hyped. And also too, if you have a Ask Doc anything, it makes it easier to see, put capital DOC. That way I'll know you have a question. Doc, if you have a question, always title it with DOC. I'll see it first. A lot of good feedback on the music. Nice. And Arnold Schwarzenegger. I liked it. We went off the board a little bit today. We could play Ask Doc Anything. And one last thing here, about 5 more minutes. I think 90 minutes is always good, unless you want a little more. We talked today about trading for Anthony Richardson. Lukewarm. Jack Campbell speaking. Backup quarterbacks. Good content. Good talks today for a Wednesday. And then some music stuff. When's Luchador Doc and Xavier going to have a Lucha Libre match? AEW is coming to Detroit in June, I think. It's going to be Raw. Then 10 days later, I think AEW for a couple night tapings. I'm more prone to go to AEW because the tickets for Raw are going to be expensive. We talked a little fantasy football sleepers. Steve Wilds wants you to know Doc's TRT is where it needs to be at 443. Now let's find out. Let's see what the Google numbers say. What is healthy male TRT? Yeah, exactly. A normal testosterone level for adult men is around 8.7 to 29 NMOL/L, or 250 to 836 NGDL. So that means mine is 1836, right where it needs to be. On one scale, it's 1836, and the other scale, 443. I am high testosterone all day, every day. Doc's testosterone so high, it broke Vegeta's scooter in Dragon Ball Z. Was over 9,000. That's right. That's right. That's the one thing you realize is tomorrow I'll have a full beard. Tomorrow I'll have the whole goatee all white again. Tomorrow's episode, you'll be like, oh, damn. Oh. Damn, that's hot. Now we're not seeing so much eye to eye. You trying to get you brought my testosterone down to 0. No, I'm just kidding. Edith Paul says, need to trade for McCarthy and develop him under Goff. Oh my God. I should have dropped that line today on Booner. Oh my God. Edith. Oh my goodness. I might have to assign that to Vito. I wonder if he'll believe it enough to write it to make it believable. Chat, this is a very outside the box, but very interesting discussion. Man, you want 9 in Detroit? Oh, man. Is he athletic enough? Can develop? Do they see something in him? Oh, man. All right. You dropped another super chat. The more super chats, I mean, what are you going to do? Come on, Doc. A little longer. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out Mahdi and Olivia. That's awesome, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. You asked for it. Why not deliver it? That's awesome, man. Thank you so much, Nuga. You know what's up. Right? Doughboy Steve is like, no. I don't know, man. I don't even know if the Michigan fans would support that. Would Michigan? Man, that's a good topic. I'll stay with that topic. That's something. That's something. Man, should I try and sell that? I can't sell that as the guy to replace Goff because I don't think he's that good. What a topic. Think about it, though. He's a gamer. I feel like he matches Goff in regards to it feels like to me, JJ McCarthy is Goff 2.0. That's my initial thought on it. Edith, man, that's interesting. I'm definitely going to throw that out there to the peeps. Gonna throw it in the boys group chat. I'm efforting a guest, hopefully a high quality guest, one in which you know and are familiar with. Right, exactly. Doughboy Steve, member of this fine community. Member, smash the like button, smash the emojis. AG Burner, I wouldn't trade Al Gore's Labubu for JJ McCarthy. That's right. Steve Wiles knows what's up. Happy wife, happy life. Well, Edith Paul, he kicked our butts last year in his first game back after injury. There's memories. It's on tape. Oh my. They'll call him White Hendon. Hendon White. Via Christian, I don't know that either party would want that, but who knows? It's 3-0 Detroit Tigers. Hopefully they hold on to the lead. Man, that's very intriguing. I'm thumbs down on it, obviously, but he's got something. There's it there. But if you can't, I mean, McCarthy's a QB whisperer, but they went out and got Kyler Murray. What song should I effort? Is it royalty free? What's the theme song? What theme song should I get? There you go. Member chat. Get some time. Best show I found on the internet. Doc is the man. I got to ask, what do you like about the show? What keeps you coming back? What, obviously, you know, I haven't sold out yet. What keeps you coming back, Mr. Nuga? Obviously, we're fellow Spartan supporters. Obviously, you must be you must find high testosterone, high energy, honest people appealing, and just somebody that interacts with the chat at a very high rate. But tell me, what do you like about it? That's really cool. The freak comes out at night, right? Oh my goodness, Xavier, that's the issue I see a lot of times is we don't need to lower the bar at quarterback. I mean, I'm not going to lie here. I think you would roll with Goff over JJ McCarthy any day of the week. Come on, Xavier. Listen, we're trying to, and my mission is to find the Mahomes or the Joe Burrows or the guy that can. have some magic on the field. Xavier puts on here, maybe we can turn JJ into the modern day John Kitna. John Kitna was a gamer. I'll say that. He was a gamer. But that's not what we are seeking at the fine moment. No. Sorry, Xavier. Just John Kitna. Mike. No. Oh God. Right. Dan Orlovsky. Man, the Lions have gone through a lot. Listen, JJ McCarthy is a Detroit Lions former bad quarterback. JJ McCarthy is already in the bad Detroit Lions quarterback Hall of Fame. This fine broadcast has inducted, not to the Wall of Fame of the Detroit Lions, this fine semi-SI podcaster has formally inducted JJ McCarthy into the bad Detroit Lions quarterback Hall of Fame. The Dan Orlovskys, the John Kitnas, Joey Harrington, Charlie Batch, Scott Mitchell, Rodney Peete, JJ McCarthy. He fits right in. Good Lord, he fits right in, doesn't he? Oh my God. He fits right in like a glove. Andre Ware, Hendon Hooker. Oh my God. Gary Danielson, Greg Landry, Rodney Peete, JJ McCarthy, Milt Plum. Good Lord, the Lions tried with their quarterbacks. Right. JJ McCarthy, welcome. Here's your mold jacket. Right. The Lions have more mold jacket players than yellow jacket. Oh my God, we got it. Oh my God. AG's Burner, you have now this. I mean, I'm gonna have to write this down. You have a segment. After a Lions loss, we're gonna give out the mold jacket award. Who played the worst? Who caused? That's it. AG's Burner. It's gonna be presented by you, brother. So as long as this show goes on, it might be a long time. I'm only 47. Who gets the mold jacket? Courtesy of AJ's Burner. Every loss, and maybe every game. I mean, we're positive. We do studs and duds, but on this fine podcast, that will be the title. I'm stealing it, brother, whether you like it or not. Who gets the mold jacket this week? You can introduce it. You just come right in. Mold jacket. You just come right in. Every post game that we do, you just come in. Mold jacket equals. Who stunk it up? The mold jacket. I'm gonna write this down. The mold, the mold jacket. That shit's funny. The only broadcast to talk about the mold jacket. They're like, all right, the Hall of Shame. No, it's mold. You can't top mold jacket. That's pretty good. Phil, but who doesn't? Really, in the end, that's the job. You're talking about him on somebody else's show. That is that's the name of the game. Literally, when you say that, Phil C, proud member, they're doing their job. They say things. That's why they're employable. They say things. That's why people in different chats will say, low key, Doc, you're negative about golf, because they remember you said something. They don't have to create anything. People listen because they're talented. Trust me. Not because we're friends, not because they invite me. Those guys are good guys. They have opinions. They stick by it. They're not fake about it. Booner loves Jared Goff. Why? I don't know. I think sometimes you get into that group think and you go into the pro Jared Goff camp and it's like, yeah, he's better than anything we ever had. Who's better? I don't care who's better. Get me his replacement. It's not my job to get his replacement. I'm looking. My job is to say, what do I think and what do I doubt? What's my doubt meter? Right. And that's where we can put it. I've seen a lot of bad Detroit quarterbacks. You said it. And I got one of their jerseys. I got a Joey Harrington jersey, two of their jerseys, and Charlie Batch. After the Charles Rogers thing went south, I stopped buying jerseys. I got 3 Lions jerseys: Charles Rogers, Joey Harrington, Charlie Batch. All right. We got it. We got AG burners. Hey, listen, when you start giving super chats, you got to get your own segment. So I got to write these down. And listen, if I give the wrong segment to the wrong person, just correct me. I'm getting old. Nuga has mold or bold. And AG's burner. 2 segments created today. All right. Mold or bold? Simple. Not yes or no. Mold or bold, courtesy of Nuga. Nuga's mold or bold? JJ McCarthy for the Lions. That's dark mold all over. That's dark mold, can't fix it. Not even the crooked contractor that tells you he can fix it's going to look at that. He's going to be like, no bueno. No bueno, mamacita. No bueno. You guys all know the contractors that will look at the mold and be like, we can't fix this shit to his friend. He'll be like, just tell him we did and patch it back up. He'll be like, 10,000. 10,000, amigo. We fix it all. No black mold. Great. 2 weeks later, you're coughing. You're like, wait a minute. You're like, you only did 1 room, mi amigo. They'll be like, sorry, I'm in Cancun. See you in 2 weeks. Mold. Mold. We can't have JJ McCarthy. But I'm going to have to write about it. JJ McCarthy. Wow. Sean Hill. Oh my God. Oh no, you got Jeff Bezos? I'm sorry. Listen, every Jeff Bezos has been through my house. Every single one of them. The problem is I can sniff it out in 2 seconds. I'm like, these people don't know I'm a psychologist. They all have the same stuttering problem. Like they lie. They don't look you in the eye. And they're like, I told this joke, and please forgive me for saying this. And please, hopefully you laugh at all this and don't take it seriously. But every Jefe Bezos has been through my house trying to earn business from me. But they all do the same thing. Every Jefe Bezos does the same thing. Here's what they do. It's like a big red flag, and they don't even know it. I'm telling you, every Jefe Bezos, I can't find I don't have a plumber guy. I fired them all. I don't have a plumber guy. I don't have a HVAC guy. I don't have any of them because I have high standards because I know I ask a lot of questions. And obviously, I've had a lot of clients in every department. Here's the sign of a Jefe Bezos if you got one. All right. Your roof, here's the sign, guys. And this is free advice from the doc. From experience, every Jefe Bezos has stepped foot into my home. Like I'm some kind of sucker. I think I have sucker written on my forehead, but I'm not a sucker. I'm smart. So here's the sign of every Jefe Bezos that's been in my house. The roof blows, some shingles fall off, and you get the roof inspectors. Every roof inspector is like, okay, hey, Mr. Macaroon, I'm from, Joe Blow Roofing. The estimate's about 11,000. No problem. The next guy, this is Warren G. Professional Roofing. Your roof's going to cost about 12,500, 13,000. No problem. You get the big name guy. We can do it for 9,500. Jefe Bezos strolls in and be like, no problem. I do it 4,000. I'm like, how are you going to do this for $4,000, Jefe? Every Jefe Bezos comes in at $4,000 for the roof. When I get 9 estimates, I do everything like in quantities of 10 because I don't trust anybody that does any work. I get 9 estimates. and every Jefe Pesos comes in at 4,000. and my wife is like, well, what do you think? Jefe seems nice. And I'm like, honey, come on, dude. 8 estimates are around 10. This shit costs 10. It's pretty clear. This shit costs 10. Every Jefe Pesos comes in at 4,000 and tries to get a bid from me. Respectfully, I'm like, sorry, Jefe, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. You know, I've never once said to that guy, like, hey, man, I've gotten estimates a little higher. I'm just like, okay, I'll give you a call back. And then I just laugh hysterically. And I tell my wife, why did you invite that guy into our home? Every darn Jefe Pesos has been in my home. But they're nice people. One of these days, maybe I'll trust one. Maybe they actually do the best job. Your personality, Doc, and honesty and coverage. And please, the theme should be Sanford and Son, Go Green, Doc. The Sanford and Son theme should be my theme song. Is that even allowed? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've had my experience with workers. Do you guys have? I mean, I don't even know. Should I go in the chat? Should I have people? I don't have anybody. Feedback. If only Goff took 4,000 instead of 13, right? No, Goff is like 25,000, baby. We'll get it done. 25,000, your roof will never break. They'll be like, well, I'm going to charge you 30,000. And if you ever have a shingle fall off this roof, call me. The next storm, 5-6 shingles fall right off. Doc, my fiery Venezuelan girlfriend can straighten that stuff out amazingly quick. Right. Nuga got a new roof and siding for $1,000. How the hell did you pull that off? Got it. Deductible, right? You had one of those storms that took out your roof, right? I'm onto you. Oh, I'm onto you, bro. Trust me, I'm onto that one too. I can't even do that properly. There was, those people, they tell you the clues. They come to your home. There was a lot of bad storms lately. Do you want us to check your roof and see if you need a new one? And I'm like, it's pretty good. I think they're like, no, there were a lot of storms in your area. Do you want us to look at your roof potentially? Then like, okay, listen, asshole, a lot of these people get insurances and we can kind of make it happen so that the storm caused your insurance and then you get it covered. We'll get you a new roof. Idiot. I'm like, oh, I got it. I'm like, I don't need a new roof. I'm good. I haven't figured out that game yet to do it properly. There was a storm, Doc. Figure it out. You like the guy's looking at me like, storm. Oh. Yeah, your roof will never break, but your roof will never win a Super Bowl. Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. That's what I just explained in a very funny way. Oh, yeah, that's funny, man. This is funny sidebars. Got it. Today was a good show. Right. Storms. Right. Storms. Right. I'm the one thing, like you said, I'm honest. Like, I don't get it. I didn't get it. Like, it doesn't register in my brain. Oh, storms. Like, oh, my roof is pretty good. It's just a shingle here and there. Just go staple one shingle up there. It's just one shingle. Go staple it up there. You know, it's like they're giving me all the hints, like new, brand new roof. Like they're whispering in my ear, brand new roof, storms, brand new. I'm like, the roof's fine. I go look around the roof. I look around my home. I care about my home. They're like, storms. They're trying to like not put it on record, like if I'm taping it. Yeah, Scott Mitchell has his own podcast with Herman Moore. It's pretty good. Scott's always been a talker. It's pretty good. It's simple stuff. All right, guys, that was fun. I gave you hour and 55. Hopefully you enjoyed the time. Hopefully you enjoyed little sidebar action. uh, we had good talks. That's interesting. JJ McCarthy embodies. JJ McCarthy, welcome to the Mold Jacket Hall of Fame. Right away. I will say this as a parting shot. You know who gets a Mold Jacket? The Michigan State Board of Trustees. For whatever reason, look, I don't know I can't claim to know the inner workings of that, but when their name pops up and everything that goes on, it seems like when 5, 6, 7 different people have a hard time with that Board of Trustees, something's going on. Obviously, the president was solid. He was raising money. People started to feel some positivity in the direction. And when he takes 40%, when the Michigan State president takes 40% to leave, to not have to deal with that Board of Trustees, something's wrong, whatever it may be. Even if it's both parties that needed to work things out, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of committees. I'm not a fan of that. More opinions equal more problems. I like 3-person committees at best. Keep it short, keep it simple. If Michigan State can't figure out their leadership and this board of trustees working with the president and the athletic director, if Michigan State can't figure it out, we're never going to get anywhere close to where it needs to be. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing. He took 40% less money to leave Michigan State. That's wrong. That's a public relations disaster. It's when I saw that today, and I'm like, and then I read deeply the stuff he put. He's not feeling the unity from the board of trustees. I just wish that the governor of Michigan is from Michigan State. Just destroy the board of trustees. We don't need it. What do they do? Other than the only thing I hear from the board of trustees is issues. Involved in this, involved in that. Nobody knows what they do. Nobody cares what they do. Just have a president, let them hire staff, and if the president does a good job, fine. Could you imagine if the Docs podcast had a board of trustees and they would be like, you can't talk about music, you're a Lions show. I'd be like, why not? The chat blew up talking about music. You can't talk about this. Squash the board of trustees and let's keep this moving. Currently, Mishanuga, in our last 90 seconds, did you know that we have 9 super chats? Thanks, brother. This chat gets a shout out. We have 9. That's an odd number, just to remind you. We have 9 super chats on this fine broadcast. Might have a couple minutes left. But yeah, that's my rant. I'm not happy with the Michigan State Board of Trustees. I think you ran off somebody that was doing well. 4-0 Detroit Tigers, bottom of the 8th. Fingers crossed, I'm going to put it out there. They're going to hold on to the lead. It's the Angels. Come on now. It's the LAA. You got to get the W. And good on you fans for booing the Tigers yesterday. They earned it. Let's give a quick shout out here to those that remained. We have a nice audience on X, 170 on X and 30 and 23 on YouTube. Smash the like button. So interestingly, the YouTube numbers are a little difficult. There's a disparity between X. Got to figure that out. But maybe it's because it's, baseball's on. There's other competition, competing shows. But I'd like to get more people involved. Tell one other person. And I think around the time of OTAs, there'll be some fun opportunities to keep growing the live audience. Listen, there's a little bit of an outlier. Torque 344, but it's the Angels. It doesn't count. It's like an outlier. Like you can't lose to them, but you don't get credit for getting any numbers on them. Because they suck. Quiz from Phil C. How many universities in Michigan have the name Michigan in it? Michigan State, Michigan, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Michigan Tech. Let's say 6. Right? There's 9 super chats. It's an odd number for some reason. Why that's sticking in my brain. Shout out to Doc's wife having to deal with his high TRT. Poor woman. Right? Oh, 7. Is it 7? Northern Michigan? Yep. I wrote about it. Real fast. That can be, one more. Courtesy of Mishanuga. Mold or bold? Should we get Josh Sweat? I butchered that because every time you think of Sweat and defenders, you think of Montez Sweat. But Josh Sweat. He might be out. Green Bay might be interested. Look at you. Is that, in all seriousness, is that a bad thing? What does that mean for you? Hopefully you're okay. Not to be disrespectful to ask. I'm just assuming mine's high. This is no medical basis. There we go. 10 super chats, an even number. $1.99. 10 super chats in a 2-hour broadcast. Smash the freaking like button. We're even, Doc. An even number of super chats has been accomplished. Thank you, Mishanuga, kindly. Amazing number of super chats. Thank you. Thank you to Meme Studio. Thank you to Steve Wilds for the contribution to the massage chair. Massage relaxation. About to commence. What are you guys watching tonight? What's the plan for this evening? It's 9 o'clock in the D. Tigers about to win. What should I watch tonight? I have booked a guest for next week. A name you know. A nighttime name you know. Get him back in the talking mix. It looks like here my friend sent me, after ethics showdown, 2 MSU trustees shut out of Mackinac Conference. I look like Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek. All righty. Hopefully everybody's health is good. I knew it. I'm surrounded by a-holes. I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate, the Doc, John Macaroon. May the Schwartz be with you, fine chatters. Now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb. The thesis of Detroit Sports Podcast. When I heard that, I rewound it and listened to it again. Now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb. Huh. May the Jim Schwartz be with you too, Doc. Remember, now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb. Remember, Slappy suck. All right. I think we had enough fun. Hopefully you enjoyed the interaction. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of time not talking sports. That was fun. little bit of music, a little bit of testosterone. That's right. Doc, when you say thank you for a super chat, you actually mean it. Big ups. Hell yeah, I mean it. It's exciting. Someone's actually saying, hey, thank you. It means a lot. It truly does. Because I never thought that that would be possible. I truly, like I said, my story is quickly my 2 minutes to talk about myself. It was simple. Lion Syndicate reached out to me in a direct message. The Syndicate, Derek. He said, I see your videos all over the internet. You're on Yahoo, you're on Sports Illustrated, you're on your own website. Why aren't you on YouTube? I said, I don't do YouTube. I make videos for the internet. He's like, you would be good at it. Just do it. And I was happy being on Crunch Time. He's like, just do it. You'll be good at it. And I thought, okay, if I do it, I'll be one of those people with 5 subscribers and everybody would never tune in. There would be no regular audience. There would be no chat. There'd be nothing. And I said, okay, let's just have fun with it. I mean, I'm a podcaster, but I wanted to be an audio only guy. With this face, I said, I'm audio guy. I did audio podcasts for 10 years. And then it started to grow. And then when I saw 5,000-6,000 people in a 4,000 people live watching in a loss, I'm like, holy crap. And then people kept messaging, emailing, hey, we like your flow. You're honest. You're one of us. We respect you. I was like, there was a lot more. It was 10-to-1 ratio versus, people that like the stream versus the haters. I'm like, okay, I can roll with it. And then I saw Booner and Crunch Time did a daily show. They said, try it. I said, I'll try it. And I truly do love it. I think you can see it, being that since I started, I haven't taken a real day off. There's been not a day where, there's a tape show or a live show. I'm here. And I've done 6, 7 2-hour shows already since Booner left, and there's a hole in the market. I hope you guys like it. I think people like it, and I'm just being myself. So positivity kills negativity. That's why most Lions fans are miserable. We're miserable together. No, we're not miserable. No. I'm going to tell you something. We're not miserable. There is a standard that Jack Campbell talked about, to bring it full circle. There's a standard that Jack Campbell talked about that the Slappies were not going to lower. The standard is Super Bowl or bust. First is best, second is last. And that's from the Liverpool movie as well. I'm going to try to play it here. I'm trying to play it right in the phone for you guys, if I can find it from my phone. It was amazing. God made me watch that right when I needed to hear it. Meaning, when Liverpool was stinking back before 2005, the fans at Liverpool have a standard of winning trophies, Champions League, winning the FA Cup. They're not settling for last place finishes. And when they started to dip a little bit, a woman called in on this documentary and she was crying. She's like, I'm crying today. That's not the Liverpool I know. She's like, first is best and second is nothing. We need to get people in here that believe that. And I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so I tweeted it. I said, love this scene in the Netflix doc. We used to be first is best and second is nothing. A female supporter was devastated. So I'm just going to play it, right? This is my attitude. And I'm like, I'm never going to stop it. I don't care if all the Slappies hate me. And this is what I believe. This is how I am, male version. Let me play it here for you.
No, you've got no choice.
I'm absolutely disgusted. I've been crying this afternoon. The Liverpool motto used to be first is best and second nothing. I really do think that there needs to be some new thinking at Anfield.
And I say nothing.
Yes, exactly. We used to be first is best, second is nothing. That's the standard. First is best, second is nothing. That's how I roll in sports all the time. I don't care about what other people think. First is best, second is nothing. That's sports. Love Europeans. That's sports. She was crying. She's like, I hate Liverpool right now. We suck. Watch it. It's amazing. Maybe a more reasonable membership price. Listen, charity ain't cheap. There's entry costs. Listen, I don't make them. I don't know how to lower them. I think the lowest one's $4.99. First is best, second is nothing. First is best, second is nothing. That's how I roll. It's how I always roll. That's right. Great question. Throughout the week, appointments are filled. It's a little bit less than before. I'm highly more selective, but the NFL schedule allows me full-time mental health work Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays mostly. But there's time sprinkled in throughout the day. Remember, I have a staff. They also write, so we can pick and choose the times. But there's time. Listen, in my philosophy has always been, if someone's committed to getting their life better in order, I'll find the time. I'm the same way. I'm the same way in life as a therapist as I am in sports. Diligent. I'm pretty good. Edith knows what's up. Last comment of the day. Best comment of the day. Oh, wait. There's 11 super chats. That's an odd number. That's an odd number of super chats. 11. I think negativity is being confused with skepticism. And when you're waiting 60 plus years for a title and a championship, we're skeptical for a reason. Eye to eye. That's why I do this. Exactly. I'm not a lone wolf in regards to how I say things. It's been 60 freaking years. That is bad. You're one of the only teams in the world that's never been to a Super Bowl. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Dan, what does Drew Petzing think about pre-snap motion? I might ask that to Drew Petzing. How do you feel pre-snap motion, be real like nitty gritty? How do you feel pre-snap motion exposes what the defense is doing to give you an edge? Like, just get real technical. What percentage of pre-snap motion do you think is effective to get a clear understanding of what an opponent's defense is doing zone or man-to-man? Drew? He'll be like, that's rather specific, sir. He'll be like, it's going to depend on case to case, week to week, when you look at the film, you want to look at other people's tendencies. Sometimes you want to disguise, he'll go. That's funny. Damn, I don't even know what it is. I don't even look. What is my membership? No, there are tiers. My membership is only $4.99. You might have paid for a higher one, or you're Canadian, or you're overseas. I don't know. I feel like mine's $4.99 according to the American situation. Unless you're American. Listen, $7.99 is really one Starbucks coffee. Am I really not worth one Starbucks coffee for the entertainment, for your own segment? You literally have your own segment. Mission Nuga's bold or mold? Are you really Nuga? Is your real name Jefe Pesos? Is that really you? Is that's you? That's really you. I am not. There you go. 12. Sorry, I'm not calling you out, even though you are an ROI machine for me, brother. Thank you, brother. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Nuga. I will try and always work to uphold the standard for you. And when I sell out, it'll be an epic sellout. It won't be Woodward Sports sellout for crunch time. It'll be an epic sellout. I am the sellout, the semi-reasonable Dak. Prepare ship for ludicrous speed. They've gone to plaid. I'm a Mog, half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. Right? You said it. With that, I can't top that, brother. I can't top that. Thanks, everybody, for your attention. I'm the Doc. Win an extra 15 minutes. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. Thanks for your time. That was fun. Got some laughs. Hopefully the Tigers get you that W. Thank you for a fun hump day. It means a lot. It means a lot. You guys understand? You guys got me to see it. No, Mold has the Mold jacket. Bad performer. You get the ideas. Mold or bold. He gets the Mold jacket of the day. He gets to claim the people that are duds for the week that play. He's the Mold jacket. You are, hey, do we like the opinion? Thumbs up, thumbs down. It's two different things, not the same. There you go. Good night now, Nick JP87. Roll call here. Thank you for sticking in. Nick, Mishanuga, Manifest Futures Destiny. I want to see more of you in here. Manifest, hit the like button. Phil C. Always got respect for Nick JP87. Edith Paul, legend. Phil C. 231. Appreciate your membership and loyalty. It's great. I don't want to know about taxes. Again, every super chat is reinvested back into this podcast. Steve Wilds, legend. Very nice. Made a guitar. Olivia, Liv, L-I-V. L-I-V. So that's two. The Detroit Sports Podcast and the Liv. We got to pick those up one day. Inshallah, one day. And for those that don't know, there are 11 colleges in Michigan with Michigan in their title. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. I founded Detroit Sports Podcast back in 2013. That's what I represent. We founded it with Doc and Adam Strozinski back 13 years ago. New episodes of Doc and Jock air every Thursday all over the internet. You can find it. Thank you for supporting the Lone Wolves Daily Podcast. Hopefully you're having fun with the Freakin' Night program, getting a little bit more rowdy, having fun. Tomorrow should be live. Friday might be taped. But Friday I got family obligations. I want to be able to react to OTAs, but I might just do a Sunday show. I know people will react to it, but look, it's going to be Friday. It's going to be the third day. I don't know what level of involvement the Lions are going to have. You know, next week's Thursday OTA, I think, will be more insightful. Hopefully it will be, an opportunity to see the Lions, not on the third day. So we'll see what we can react to. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. This is made possible thanks to On Sports Illustrated, the great sports partner that allows us to grow, do the things that we like to do. No doubt about it. One more thing. I like it. The encore. One more thing from Newbie. Manifest my future's destiny. Quick question. What is the number one concern you have going into OTAs? Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. My number one concern. Honestly, respectfully, Kelvin Shepard. If he does not take the necessary step to grow and doesn't match wits properly with the offensive coordinators, if Drew Petzing outwits him, the one thing I don't want to see is the Lions offense just roll, like just Tesla torching Terry Arnold. I don't want to see the defense being like way behind. Because we think that the team is great with players, but if coaching matters, the number one person that has to grow on the coaching staff, I think Petzing has experience. He should work well with Dan Campbell. The Lions didn't change much that defensive staff. That's a strong belief. The results on the field last year didn't kind of warrant that. I would have made a couple fundamental changes. So that's my number one concern, Manifest. That makes sense? In collaboration with AG, we got the mold department. Mold. That's 13 super chats. That's an odd number. And most of the supporters will say injuries. Just listen, you're not going to have too many in OTAs. It's not going to be that full force. It's going to be a lot of running around 7-on-7, 11-on-11, some competitive moments. But yeah, you should not have too many. Nice. Did you see the story, Phil? See about Warren? They're like, we have done an audit. real fast. We have done an audit. There are 69 gas stations within 4 square miles. Where are y'all coming from with these ideas? Like, we gotta they literally said on the internet, we gotta squash the gas stations in Warren. There's like one on every corner. There sure is. they counted 69. 69 gas stations in like a 4 square mile radius. They'll be like, listen, in our defense, all Middle Eastern people love gas stations. That's what we know. I know how to sell crackers and we know how to sell pop and gas. But I think they've put a limit. They're going to cap it. There ain't going to be no new ones. So the doc can't use any of his. I was going to use some of the 14 super chats to buy a gas station, but it won't be in Warren. Party stores. Yeah, liquor stores, half and half, whatever those things are. There's 69 of them. There's too many of them. Right. Move over right on the center line, right? Sterling Heights, bro. Come on. We know. Doc's going to open up and I'm going to become the mayor of Sterling Heights. Once I clear up all the past stuff, if I figure out how to clear out my name, Doc will be investigated by Ross Tucker or Ross, whatever his name is. Ross will investigate me. Rob Wolchek already has my name on his list. He'd be like, did you say you give all your super chats to charity? I said, yeah. And Vanilla and Crystal and Sunshine. Thanks, guys. Tomorrow should be live. I look forward to it. Thanks, everybody. Have a blessed, happy hump day. Hopefully you had some laughs, and I appreciate your time.